What we need is more peace. War's coming to an end soon. Is this a regimental color flag of some kind? Used to identify more than anything else?
Mm-hmm.
I have no friends left. They've all gone. Bullet wound in the leg. This person who originally carried this, or one of the people that carried it. And again, the name Samuel comes up. Have I said that before? I said Samuel before? He's really present here. I drink too much. Well, I drink all the time. I'm scared to death. Every roll call. Hated the sound of the drum. Hated the sound of the drum. Just scared to just jerk like that. It was frightening. Knew what was coming. Knew what was going to happen. This flag has more honor in it than anything else in here. Piles and piles of honor. This is an honored flag. Carried with great dignity. Somebody named Robert connected this. And again, the word haversack. So whoever carried this had a haversack. Binoculars. Not for me, but for somebody else to use. I carried an extra set of binoculars in my haversack. And they would call for binoculars, I would hand them over, and they'd give them back. This person was clumsy. This general or colonel or whatever was clumsy, and he dropped crap everywhere, all over the battlefield. You couldn't give it to him, and they'd say, keep this. You had to take it back from him, otherwise, when it came time for this, he didn't have anything. This is a spine-tingling little thing. I'm getting tingles all over. I have some kind of a pus in a wound that if I keep it drained, it's getting better. Squeeze it out, and it gets better. It's an awful thing to look at. I need a surgeon, but no one will see me. I'm afraid they'll take that off, and I don't want that, so I'm just going to squeeze it and see if it doesn't get better. Squeeze it, wipe it, clean it, and wash it. And my friend says he doesn't smell gangrene, so I'm okay. And other people have told me if I just keep doing that, it'll expel the whatever, and I'll be all right. I think he was. He was worried about losing his leg, not about losing his life. It seems strange to me. Worried about losing his leg. Honor. A lot of people standing around staring at this flag, saying pompous things, you know, we are the whatever. Men, you know, we'll see the day through, we're blah, 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 blah. Nothing ever happened. They talk a lot, but a very honored flag. Congress or something has something to do with that. I don't know what that's about. You know what that is? Some congressional, somebody involved in
Well,
this?
the commander of the Trans-Mississippi was the son of Taylor, President Taylor. Richard
Interesting.
Taylor is,
There are lots of heaps of, you know, dignity and honor and stuff like that heaped on that. I don't think anything ever happened. No one ever shot at this flag. It's almost like we're safe. Used to be good colors in this. They faded. This used to be bright, bright, bright. Someone's saying this is some kind of transitional flag, that they moved from this flag to another flag or something. This is one of many flags that looked like it was something, but They were always making different flags, it seemed like, and this is one of them. It's an early model of something, and then they switched to something else. Didn't know that. They make a whole bunch of flags down there.
Well,
They're always making new flags. This looks good, let's do that one, let's add another one over here. This looks great, let's do that. So there were many, many copies that all pretty much said the same thing. You could tell the CS, what it was about. This I don't get. I don't think they do either. Is a C.S. What's that about? Should there be an S dot here? No one seems to know here what this is about. It's a mistake, is what they're saying. It doesn't really belong there. Someone was going to do that. And you can see there's no room for it. That should be C, that dot should be here, that S should be there, and that dot should be there. And instead they did this and they got to the end and there was no place to put the dot except in the red, and then they couldn't do it. So it's a mistake. Isn't that interesting?
that's why it's a transitional flag.
Yeah, it's a transitional flag. It's going from this to that, and there were so many factions, no one could make up their mind what to do. Ooh, boy, this is... Why somebody's saying this is a beach flag, I have no idea.
Oh, I do.
It's a beach flag.
It was used in the recapture of Galveston Island.
Oh. I'm calling it a beach flag. Because I wouldn't understand all that. So they give me a word and it's a metaphor for what's going on instead of, they can't give me a whole paragraph. Except this guy that keeps singing this song on Captain Jinx of the Horse Prince, he can get that out. But in this case, they call it a beach flag. It's a short little thing to let you know that it was water. So it's done in water and dipped in water. And that there's salt in that. It behooves me to tell you this is a fight to the death flag. It behooves me. What an interesting word. And it's so inaccurate. It's fumble fingers. Highly prized. But it's a mishmash. So it's like a mishmash. Started out with something and ended up with something else or something. They started working on it and it was ill-advised by somebody. I think maybe this is too large or part of it's missing or something, but it started out as this and then the flag ended up being smaller or something. That for this size of this star field, the flag should be much bigger. And it was ill-advised. And was changed or cut down or fixed or something and it ended up in this size. The original, I think, they thought it was going to be much bigger than that. Maybe they ran out of material or something. In defense. This is an in defense flag. This is not a going out. This is an in defense flag. We're going to hold the line. We're going to dig a ditch. We're going to get in it. We're going to hold the line. This is an in defense of an area or something, not. Something funny, this flag is made small because the enemy kept shooting up their other flags, so they were so big. This one they couldn't hit for some reason. They didn't put it up very much. But it's an in defense flag. Beautiful tassels. It's an ornamental, it's a decorative, but it's an in defense flag. You know what that means?
The troops were hunkered down in a siege at Vicksburg.
Interesting. It made it small because they kept shooting the hell out of their flags, holes, and whoever held it was dead. This they put up there is hard to hit. They just never got a shot at it. It waved and, bullets would whiz around, but they never hit it. That was a defense flag.
So,
But you could see it down the line. Everybody could see what it was. It's a hope flag, a defense flag. But it was made small on purpose. They could have built a bigger one, but cloth was in great demand, and they couldn't hit this flag. That's why it was made. They'll never get this one. They shot all their other ones up. The time take a break. Are we running out of camera?
Well, we can, now, does anything speak to you here? And I have a reason for asking.
I fought the law and the law won. This is a hidey hole, this is a bank vault or something like that. And, artifacts. We bungled the job. I don't know what that means. Meant to hide things or something, or save things, and we bungled the job. How can you hide something this
Well,
big
they lost the
anyway?
war. Would that be fun?
We've been better off burying stuff. We put it in this big thing, and there it is. I mean, what else would be in there but valuable stuff? We had to bury it in the ground in pots. We'd have saved stuff. Still, we put it in this big stupid thing. And Abraham has something to do with this. Abraham. I don't think it's Abraham Lincoln, but the name Abraham is very
Would it
common.
be like Abraham and the Jewish faith?
Could be. I wouldn't know. Just someone saying Abraham. But a lost cause. But this was a bad idea. We put valuable stuff in this, which might as well put a blinking arrow at it. Here's where all the good stuff is, documents. So it was ill-advised. Bad idea. This is someone who didn't know what they were doing. This is a poor administrator. Talked a lot, but really never said anything. Had a great plan, but never really amounted to anything. Died in disgrace. Didn't know what he was doing. Bungled the job. We bungled the job, and now we've lost this. I hate what's happened. I hate what's happened with the country. And in some cases, if someone connected with this is blaming themselves. It's all my fault. Hands that touch this is someone very famous. Retrieve the gold, get out of town. It never happened. Some of it did, but it was captured later on. This man was arrested. Someone who had their hands on this was arrested, a very famous person, escaping or something. Easily identifiable what he does. It was.
That would be Jefferson Davis.
Could be. Ill-advised. The whole war was ill-advised. It was always being run out of a haversack again. So where did I guess I didn't know what one was till you. I knew it was a sack because it's sacks in it. But war was run off of a horseback. We never had a chance. I see that now. I didn't see it in the beginning. Thought we'd certainly win, but in the end, we didn't have a chance. Cannons, gun, foods to eat. We didn't have any of that. But this is an attempt to save some artifacts of the Confederate thing. We just bungled it. Bungled it. That's a beautiful piece, isn't it?
It was one of the first fireproof safes made in 1856. It weighs.
There's a black man pushing this around. And he has an apron on that goes around like this and goes to here, leather apron. There's no hair except on the sides. He pushes this around when they tell him to, room to room. Someone's talking about maybe escaping with it, getting on a wagon, and that didn't work. So all is lost. I think they took what papers they could, stuck them in haversacks, and then rode off, and it just all came undone. They didn't have any secrets anyway, nothing worth saving. There are articles of something, articles of declarations and things signed was what they wanted to save, not gold or money, but the papers had very little money anyway. This man was captured, went to jail for a while, and lost in history. Someone died of pancreatic cancer or something. Is it one of you has a relative, an uncle or something, that died of pancreatic cancer?
My grandmother did.
Okay, there we go. So your spirits are coming along with it.
Oh, are
That's
they?
why on the phone I said, well, 8 people in here are going along because you all come with a different set of spirits. So,
Well, when you,
and she jumped in there. She saw an opportunity where I wasn't yakking. You finally shut up. I could tell her. Very painful, she said. Very quick, very painful. So she waited. She said, "You finally shut up," and I could tell her something. Very funny lady, very funny
She was a
lady.
wonderful lady. Okay, so just to, okay, Jefferson Davis, that was the Confederate States safe. And of course, he was the president and he was arrested
Yeah.
on retrieve. No one ever knew what happened to the gold or anything that had been in the safe.
It's near a river, big oak tree, some kind of oak tree near a river, dug it up and buried it there. No one ever came back to retrieve it.
Oh, let's go. Is this like a shipwreck? Is it finders
No,
keepers?
I think that place is underwater now. I think that river shifted. That area where the gold was is underwater. That river did a ding like this, and they put it there, and now it's going that way or something. Bend in the river, bend in the river.
And then,
Willow tree, willow
Oh, willow
trees.
tree.
That's not an oak tree, it's willow trees, correct me. The standard willow trees. And we did it in the dark, so no one, someone was supposed to do a map, but it never got to whoever was gonna do that, and they all just buried it and ran. So they didn't,
hmm,
wagons weighed really down, but, you know, they discussed, you know, you do the map and I'll do this and we'll bury the gold, and it just, in a haste and fear and whatever, nothing, no map ever got written. Very interesting.